This 2 at lesson activity is in language arts and focuses on storytelling. Smart Notebook allows you to create stories using their gallery, using many objects and page backgrounds. You're also able to use many of the tools in order to create your own backgrounds in addition to that. We're also going to bring in student work directly into the digital whiteboard system using a document camera and an all-in-one printer-scanner combo. So let's see how all of this can work together. Let's take a look at how you can teach storytelling. We're going to start off in Notebook, and I'm going to jump into the gallery. And I'm going to take a look at the pane right here that allow me to look through the different categories. So I'm going to choose Essentials for Educators, and I'm going to expand that and go into English and Language. And I will need to scroll down until I get to Storytelling and Fairy Tales. And I'm going to scroll down again. I'm going to choose the 3 Little Pigs. In the 3 Little Pigs, I have 14 pictures and backgrounds, and I have 11 notebook files and pages. So I'm going to choose a background so I can have something to start my story. So I will expand that. And then scroll down, and let's start off with the House of Straw, and I'll choose that one. And it brings in a page, and I'm also going to choose the House of Sticks and bring that in. And I want you to notice that each of the icons down here has the page curled up on the top right. That means it makes a new page and puts in a new background. Just to show you, I'll go back into the Pages tab up here on the top, and I've made 2 pages. I'll go back into actually the first page up here and go back into the gallery. Now I'm ready to bring in some of my characters. So I'm going to scroll up in my results pane, and I'm going to expand pictures and backgrounds. Let me scroll down a little bit until I bring in a pig. So I'll bring in Pig 1, and Pig 1 also needs some straw in order to build the house of hay. So students can easily come in and they can talk and pretend that they are the pig as they're coming through and they're building the house of straw. This is where students get a lot of fun coming up and actually creating a built oral language, and you can bring in a lot of vocabulary and reinforce the vocabulary within the story, and also the story plot and so forth. When you're ready to go to the next page, simply click on the button for the next page and you're directly in it. And now we would bring in Pig 2, so I'll scroll up and bring in Pig 2, and he needs to build his house with sticks. So on. So you can continue the story in that way. So that's using Notebook with the different elements that are in there. Notebook also allows you to do a different way of bringing in stories. So I'm going to choose a brand new page up here, and I'm going to choose Storybooks. Now in Storybooks, there are flash stories, and let me bring this one in. And this story is
The Musicians of Bremen.
In a flash element, you have a variety of objects that are in there, but you cannot change any of them. So what you'll need to do is basically play it, and that's what we're going to do with this. It also has sound, and it's basically a puppet show. So let's see how this one works. So I'll click on the Cardboard Theater, and we'll click it again, and now we're in it.
Once upon a time, there was a donkey. He worked very hard and was very tired.
So I'm going to press pause right now, and so you can see that I can pause and I can play the story as it goes on. And it looks like a little puppet show that kids are used to doing. Now if I want to point out anything, let's say I want to point out that these are the donkey's ears, I can definitely pick up my pen and draw anything on there. However, a problem comes in when we continue the story.
His owner said, "Do more work."
Well, you'll notice that the animation starts moving all over the place, which means I would have to get rid of the writing. So I'll pick up the eraser and erase, or I could just select the arrow and, let me try that again. I could select the arrow and just hit the X up here, and it would get rid of it. But I want something a little easier. I want my writing to write and then disappear. So there is a tool to do that. I'll pick up my pen and choose the magic pen that's up here. So with the magic pen, I can draw it. I'll put my pen down. Then I can continue to talk about what that particular thing is that I wanted to point out. And what you'll notice is the magic pen erases after about 10 seconds or so. So I can just continue on with what I'm doing. But there are other ways that you can bring in student work directly into the notebook and into other parts of your digital whiteboard system. And with one of those is a document camera. Now this is a document camera from AverVision. It has a flexible gooseneck so I can move this around. And I'm going to start up the document camera program, and what it will do is show whatever is down here. And in this case, I have a piece of student work, which is a pig. So when I place the pig down, I have the pig up here. So I'm going to put this pig directly into Notebook. I'm going to open up my tools over here and bring in the screen capture toolbar. Let me move this toolbar down a little bit so it's out of the way. But I'm going to choose the area select, and I'm going to choose maybe about that much of the area, and what it will do is it will put it directly into Notebook. And you'll see how fast this goes when I bring in another piece of student work and just plop it down, and I'm able to do the same thing and grab that pig, and now that one goes into Notebook as well. But let's say the student has made a piece of work and you want to be able to use it in a variety of ways. So you want to copy it or scan it directly in as its own file. So what I'm going to do is close AverVision, and I'm going to show you a all-in-one printer scanner combo. Let me bring the document camera back down. There are many of these, but they all have the same basic feature. It's a regular printer, so you'll be able to open it up and print as normally. But with these types, which is an all-in-one, you can put the student work directly onto the flatbed, and you can either press a button and it will print out a copy of it, or you can press another button and it will scan it directly into the computer as a separate file. So with that, you can create other things. So I'll put the printer, scanner, copier down, and let's say I had a piece of student work and I made a copy of it and then made a puppet out of it. So now I have physical puppets that students can hold onto in addition to the digital ones that are up here. But I'm looking at this puppet up here and it has a square that goes around it. So there's a way that you can change this particular puppet so it doesn't have anything on the background. I'm going to go back into the three little pigs in my gallery, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit and compare the student drawn pig with the gallery pig. And as you can tell, there is no background that's here. So what I'm going to do is take off this background. So I will select the student pig, click the drop down, and go into picture transparency. So let's choose the white background, get rid of it, choose set transparency, and now I have a student pig that I think is better than the other pig, because students love to see their own work. And now this little pig can walk around in all the puppets shows and so forth as you create that. But let's take that a step further and actually create our own background. So what I'm going to do is minimize the toolbar right here, and I'm going to make a new page up here by clicking on the new page button. And I want to start drawing my own background. So I'm going to pick up the green pen and start drawing the ground as we go across. Put the green pen down. Let me go into property tabs, which will allow me to change some of the features that I'm going to choose. I want to draw a nice square house, but when I draw a nice square, it's not particularly all that square. There is a tool that allows me to draw a nice square, and that tool is the shape pen tool. So when I choose that, it automatically says, well, what do you want it to be? I want this to be a brown house because it's going to be the house of sticks. I don't see a good enough brown in here, so I'm going to choose more. And I could choose mocha, or I could choose cyan. I think I like mocha because these are the nice colors that the students are used to choosing in their crayon set. So I'll click OK, and now I'm ready to draw my square. So this is fairly close, but you'll see because this is auto shape pen that it turns it into a perfect square. I'm going to now draw the top of the house, which is a triangle, and it pops it into an exact triangle. These are good vocabulary building tools and opportunities. I'll put my pen down and let's go ahead and fill this in. So I'm going to select the main part of the house right now, and right now it has no fill, and I want to have it to look like sticks. So I'm going to choose the pattern fill and make it look like sticks. But that's black and white. Well, let's change the background color into mocha. So I'll click OK, and now that looks like a house of sticks. I'll do the same with the triangle up on the top and move it right into the correct spot. Select it again so it's highlighted, and this time choose the gradient fill. Let's try that again. And I'm clicking undo, and this is what you can do if something happens strange and instead of you trying to fix it, undo is the best way to fix that. So I'm going to select the triangle once again. I'm going to go into gradient fill, and the first color is going to be black, and I'm going to scroll down now. And the next color is going to be this kind of tan color. And as we see, it goes from one color to the next, but I want this to be vertical, so it looks like that. So I can continue making this, and again, good vocabulary exercise. And once that whole background is done, then the students can bring in their puppets. But you see all the other tools around here? I want to get rid of that. I just want to show my picture up here. So I'm going to choose full screen up here. And in full screen, now I can see the whole page. I can get rid of my properties up here. And now the students can move through with their puppet show. If I want to move to the next page, I just select the arrows down here and it will take me either backwards or forwards in my story. So that's a way that you can use a variety of these software and hardware tools to teach storytelling. Now it's time for you to get to it.